And my name is Dr. Tony Smith. I'm a doctor of chiropractic from Lancaster, California, from Abor's Medical Group. It's a multidisciplinary facility with orthopedic surgeons, podiatry, pain management, general physicians. I actually do the chiropractic and rehab in the facility. I've been in practice for 30 years. I mean, yeah, that's incredible to think already, but I hope to think that the X39 is doing some incredible things and kind of doing some age reversal looks on me and helping with my overall health and well-being. But so what I want to talk about and why I always get this question is, why would your doctor need X39? So let's be real, let's be frank. Everybody's being affected by the economy, by inflation. It's no different to a doctor, an office or a medical facility. We have our overhead is increasing and our reimbursement from insurances are decreasing. The reimbursements are going down, but our overhead is steadily increasing. So everybody's looking for different ways to make ends meet. Workman's comp. I mean, just as a general person, gas, electricity, water, everything is going up. We're all being affected from it. So we're no different than anybody else out there. So we are all looking for different ways to generate more revenue without, adding more hours to our day, without adding, more overhead. That's a big thing, is that how can we increase revenue in the office without increasing the overhead? And that's one of the things that I like to share with, with people when they're asking me, like, what do I say to a doctor? So let's be realistically, it's very hard to get into a doctor because they usually have gatekeepers at the front desk. But even if you can share it with the staff, this is something that that I would say is, if I can show you a way to increase revenue without increasing overhead, could I get a few minutes of your time, or of maybe your manager's time, your lead person? Because maybe that's going to create enough interest for them to actually take a little time. Like, well, what are you talking about? How can I increase revenue without increasing overhead? Because those two don't come hand in hand. And show them, or share with them a way that they can actually create what they call residual income, something that comes in, money that's being generated when the lights are off and the doors are closed. Because the first thing that a doctor thinks about is, I'm gonna have to work more hours and see more patients and do more procedures, or do more of this and do more of that. Because again, reimbursement's going down, revenue, the overhead's still up there. So how am I going to increase my revenue? And so with this type of business model, and you can build a network, a distribution channel, is basically that you can do the work once and start to reap the benefits of it multiple times. And so kind of understand this concept. If I was able to treat the patient one time and get paid monthly on what I treated, that would be an awesome way, right? Every doctor would do that. No, that's not the case. But in this industry, if I introduce somebody to the X39 and they actually continue to use it on a monthly basis, now the company sends me a little revenue bonus, a revenue sharing bonus for doing that, a percentage of what's being purchased. Okay, that's a little bit, but as we start to build a network, as we show how we can still build a distribution channel, all that volume that's created by that referral, two people tell two people, tell two people, so on. As it starts to grow out, those little revenue sharing starts to grow. They start to grow. They start to make a big difference. And, you're not trading hours for dollars when you're doing that. You're not increasing your patient load by doing that. You're getting out and sharing maybe a small portion of time to create a larger revenue on the back end. But they got it. Sometimes you have to teach. We're very slow to learn, but that's part of the learning process, is that teaching, getting in and sharing with the doctor, there's potential to increase that revenue without increasing the overhead. So that's got to be the factor that catches the interest. Before you got to create the value before they're going to dig into it and, kind of listen a little bit more. The other thing is that you want to have something that's, when I was looking at this, I get exposed to hundreds of different things, that supposedly can help people, benefit people, but realistically, is it beneficial? Is it going to make an impact? And so I did a lot of digging and research about the X39 before I implemented it in my practice. And some of the things that really caught my attention was 2 studies that I looked at and that I encouraged when you're going to talk to a physician is to photocopy that study. So initially when I was telling, just show, drive them to the website and have them look at this study and have them look at that study. Let's be realistic. We're lazy. Doctors are lazy, or they're just super busy, or whatever. I don't know. They just don't take the time because they haven't created the value. So now what I'm doing with doctors that I'm sharing it with is that I actually print out 2 studies. One of the studies is all the benefits of what copper peptides do in the body. When you increase copper peptide levels in the body, what are all the benefits that happen with that come in conjunction with that? Because I talked about earlier about how it helps with vascular protection, it helps with cardio protection and all that thing. But doctors will understand when it talks about reinnervation, revascularization, anti-clotting benefits, how big of a benefit that could be in somebody's health and well-being. Doctors will understand that. So take that one study of all the benefits of copper peptides, and it's actually called the regenerative protective actions of GHKCU in light of a new gene data. New gene data. I can't even read my own writing. That's one of them. The second study is the study showing that X39 is clinically proven to increase copper peptide production in the body. And that's changes in tripeptides produced by X39. Take those 2 studies, highlight the key factors in there. So you're giving them the Cliff Note version of what they want to look at. You're pointing them to what they like. Right here is what I want you to see. Highlight those things, put it in their hands, and that should grasp and create enough value for them to dig a little deeper. Because even if you just give them the printout of the studies, they see a lot of writing, they're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Highlight the key points. That's what I'm finding is doing the best benefits, is highlighting those key points and then putting it in their hands. Hopefully you'll get a response from that. And then if that's not the case, try to get in contact with the office manager, try to get in contact with somebody who has a key position that is close to the doctor, because that could be your backside entrance into getting exposed to it. Because understand, when I've been exposed to network marketing multiple times now, but I was always introduced, or I was always accepted the invitation by what they call a warm market. Somebody I already knew, and I respected their opinion. So, and at one time, it was actually by my massage therapist that was in my office. Her husband happened to be in network marketing, but she was a massage therapist, but I respected her opinion, and I took enough time to actually look at some of the information. And that's how I actually got started in a network marketing company in a previous company, but it was through a warm market. And so again, they kind of did that same thing. They brought the key components that would catch my interest for me to actually look into it a little bit deeper. But try to develop those relationships. If you can't get through the doctor, try to develop a relationship with somebody in the office so you can kind of get the backdoor entrance into the doctor's office and do it. But my other thing, don't spend all your time just trying to get a doctor in there, because the doctors are not your best network marketers. They bring credibility. They can bring they can help you, develop the appreciation, but they're very slow to develop a network, a team, because again, you have to teach a doctor how to network. Remember that this company has been around 19 years. This company has been in the hands of physicians for 19 years. And it wasn't until network marketers got into this company, into this business, when it exploded. It wasn't the physicians that took it to the high level. It was the networkers, that the people, the everyday person who had an idea how to network and go out and bless other people by sharing information, go and getting out of their comfort zone a little bit. So don't put all your eggs in one basket with a doctor, because they may not be the best, their best networker. But if you're going to try it, that's the way to do it. But go out and share it with other people. Man, we have our hands on something great, powerful. Go out and bless everyone with it. Some people are going to have a great response. Some people are going to have a slow response. Again, if they stay on the product long enough, they're going to have a benefit. They just need to stay on the product long enough, and something's great is going to happen with them. So with that, I want to sign off for tonight for the Monday motivation message. Go out and bless people. Just get out of your comfort zone. As a person, we have to grow. I mean, we have to get uncomfortable to grow in anything. When you go to the gym, you can't do the same weight and expect to get gains. You can't, as a cyclist, I can't do the same easy ride and ride at a low pace and expect to get gains. I need to push myself. I need to push myself to the next level. Steve Merritt, as a professional athlete in skiing, he didn't advance to being a world champion by doing the same old tricks that people had done for years. He had to invent and learn new tricks. He had to push himself to a higher level. So again, we grow as people as we get uncomfortable. Go out, get a little uncomfortable, bless. You're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it to bless other people. Go out and share the X39 with people.